Welcome to Papyrus Plans. I'm Tasha. Ready to create something beautiful? Let's dive in. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be working on my creative journal for August. And I went back and forth and I think I finally decided on what I want to do. And we're going to do something a little bit different than I've done before. And it's going to be a Café in Paris theme, which I thought would be kind of cool. I've been all over Europe, but I haven't been to Paris yet. So this is kind of, a little bit of manifesting and hopes and dreams. And I love coffee. So it's kind of combining the two things that I love most in one spread. And so I've kind of already mapped everything out in terms of spacing, things like that. But I'll show you some of the stickers that I've created here. And I did do something similar to something I did, I believe in April when I did the Galaxy spread. I created tons and tons of stickers, and I'll just, again, kind of do like a quick flip through of what I've created, just so you can kind of see everything that I have here. And then I'll talk to you about the specific process that I used. Okay, so that's kind of everything. And obviously I probably won't use all of this, but I created a unique effect, and I'm not sure if the camera's picking up on it, but you can see the iridescence there. To create the foam on the coffee, I used this Pops of Color by scrapbook.com. This is called Pearl Satin. I used this one, again, to kind of create the latte art, and I just kind of gently use this. And then in order to create the gloss of the coffee, I use the clear version of that to give it some contrast. So that way, when it's down, it looks like it's literally like a cup of coffee. So it looks like liquid. And then I added the pearl satin to give it a little bit of shimmer. And then on the storefront for the cafe, I used the clear so that it would mimic glass. So that when you look at it, you can kind of see the shimmer of the glass. So I did that for that. Oh, and also for the street lamps. I did that for the street lamps too. Okay. This one's a little small, so I'm not sure if it's showing it, but I used the pearlized pops of color on that as well. And I'll show you a larger one of the macaron. See that shimmer on that, on these ones here, and these ones here. And then on this one, I did something different to mimic the high-end, you know how, I don't know if you ever had macarons before, but on like a lot of the high-end versions at a really good patisserie, you'll get like the gold leaf brushed on top of it. So in order to mimic that, I took some of this glitter that I got, and I believe I got this from Dollar Tree, actually. I think they had a hot pink version and a gold, and so I got one of each. So I used the gold, and basically what I did is I took my Elmer's glue stick and just gently, swashed it on top. I didn't cover the whole thing, but just kind of like a little swipe across the top. And then I immediately put the glitter on top. And then I took a brush that I didn't care about and brushed away all the excess real quick so that only a small amount would stick to it. So that you can see that it has that gold effect. So it looks like I have gold dust that has been brushed on the top of that. And then for the lip gloss, again, I used the clear to kind of mimic that of what lip gloss would look like. And for like the coffee, this one I used mainly like the pearlized finish on it. And then I went back over it with the clear gloss again to mimic what the liquid of coffee would look like. Again, pearlized finished on the macarons. And even on a little miniature coffee here, I use a combination of the pearlized finish for the steam and some of the clear for the coffee. So again, just kind of show you, again, I created this latte art by hand by using the pearlized finished for that. And then a combination of the pearlized finish and the liquid for this latte art. And then just for this black coffee, just the clear. Now for the Eiffel Tower, it was looking a little flat to me. And I'm not sure, let me get a little closer. I'm not sure if there it is. You can see the kind of the iridescent shimmer. So for the Eiffel Tower, I used this one, and this is called, let's see, where's the name on this one? This one's hard to see. Hold on. This one isn't as bold as the other ones. Gosh, I can't read this. Let me get close so you can see what it looks like. but it's like this iridescent gray, like almost like a metallic gunmetal iridescent finish. I'll look in my order and see if I can find the name of it, because for the life of me, I cannot read this. I mean, if it's on here, it's yikes. You know what? Let me get my iPhone, use the magnification, so I can try to tell you. Okay. See if this helps. They may not have put it on this one. Gosh, even with magnification, I still can't. Yeah, I don't think this one, I think they forgot to put the name on this. It's like disco, something disco. I think part of it rubbed off. I think that's the problem. But this is called something disco. Again, I'll try to put the name of it on the screen or in the description bar, so you can see what it is, but yikes. Okay. So I used the Disco Pops of Color for the Eiffel Tower, and I think that might have been all the colors that I used. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I used the clear, the pearl, satin, the disco, and again, for like the street lamps, I used mostly the clear, so that it gave it looks like, glazed glass, that kind of effect. So same thing with this one. I used the clear so that as you turn it, you can see, it looks like you're staring at a real street lamp. So that's kind of the finish that I did there. I'm trying to see if I did anything else. Oh, and like on the pigeon, I used the pearlized finish on his feathers just so he wouldn't look quite as flat. Okay, so those are all the stickers and the effects that I used on them. Let's see, did I show them all to you? I think I did. Oh, I don't think I showed you the sticker strips I made. So I made, I couldn't find coffee washi tape that I liked. It was either like too big, or wasn't the right color, or all looked exactly the same, and I wanted something different. So I ended up creating my own, basically, sticker strips. So here's the full sheet. And then on the coffee, let me zoom in so you can see this better. Okay, so here it has, I used the clear. You can see kind of the shine of the coffee there. Again, since it's black coffee, I used the clear so it looks like liquid. Then these I didn't do anything to. So this one I just left plain. This one left plain. This one left plain. Same thing with this one. I used the pearlized finish to create latte art in the coffee. So you can see the finish there. And then for this one here, I used the clear to create these coffee stains so that when you look at it, again, it looks like I spilled coffee on my sticker strip. Okay. And then these ones here I kept just with the letters that I created. And kind of same finish here. I created some coffee stains using the clear on this, and then a combination of the clear and the pearlized finish to create a strip that kind of mimics the froth and foam on coffee with little swirls of coffee throughout. And then for this one here, I just used the clear, so it looks like I spilled some coffee. And then I left these ones here plain. Okay. So that's what the sticker strips look like. Close up. So what I thought I would do is create a window. So you can see these here. I created some large windows to fill up this side. And I took my time and I cut out this entire thing. So this was, obviously I put this on sticker paper, so this was all white. All this was white here. And I took my gyro cut and cut this out by hand. Now, I have to say, I've always thought my gyro cut was a little bit odd when I first got it, but I had never owned one before. And I mean, it always felt wobbly in my hands, and I thought that's just the way that it was. And then all of a sudden I noticed that it went from wobbly to just like not working. And when I looked at it, I realized that it was cracked, and I hadn't even owned it that long. And I've only used it, a few times, because I had it for months before I actually used it, because it is a little daunting to try to figure out, I will say. And so I contacted the company, and they told me to send them pictures to make sure it was, apparently there's a lot of knockoffs, I guess, running around. But I did have a legitimate one, that was their name brand. And when they looked at the pictures, they said, oh, it looks like yours was damaged in transit. And so, or they said, either that or you just had a faulty mount head. And so they were like, we'll send you a new one. And I was like, okay, thanks. Because I was like, is this supposed to be like this? And then when I talked to other people that had used it, they were like, I don't have that problem. So I don't know. I thought maybe it was just like a me problem, you know what I mean? Like a user error kind of thing. So I just kept using it thinking, well, maybe this is just it. And I'm just not used to using a tool like this. But they're going to send me a new one. But in the meantime, I had to kind of jerry rig this to try to get it to work, to cut this out. So I took some of my electrical tape and basically attached it to this just so that it would secure the mounting head. But if you buy this and yours feels wobbly like mine did, immediately send it back and get a replacement because it's not supposed to feel that way. I didn't know that when I got it, but just to let you know, if you have one and you're kind of struggling to use it like I was, trying to think, why is it so wobbly? It never felt secure to me. But come to find out, it's not supposed to be like that. It should feel secure. It shouldn't feel like it's wobbling back and forth. So check to make sure that yours wasn't damaged like mine was, so that you can, again, get a return or a replacement. So I did that, and it did take some time, and I had to, again, put electrical tape on this so that it would be sturdy enough to be able to do this, because my X-Acto, I mean, it did some of it, but for example, like around this curve here, it just was too hard to do that. Now, I did end up, before I put the electrical tape on this, I did take my X-Acto knife, or I should say my craft knife, and I took my ruler and just did it old school. I lined it up here, went like this, lined it up, went like this, especially when this was just not working. I said, you know what? This is mostly straight lines. So you can do like I did and just take your time and just go all the way down, okay? I did that for 90% of it, especially before I kind of jerry-rigged my my gyro cut to kind of work. Now, I did make a mistake, and so I'm going to tell you about it so that you don't do the same thing. I'm going to end up having to cut this 3 times instead of 2, because when I first did this, I cut everything out, and then I took the second window, and I cut everything out. And then after I cut everything out, like you can see, like my craft blade is sharp. So like it really cut. So I cut everything out again. And then after I did the second one, I was like, wait, I only had to do one of these, because I was like, and I really only had to do the second one that goes on the back side of this, because if I put this down to the sticker paper, I've got to cut it out anyway because of this paper in order to be able to see through the window, which is the effect that I want it to do. So when you do this and if you're doing a double side like I am, put this down first, cut it, have your pre-cut second side to put on, and then you're only cutting it twice, whereas now I've cut each window out, so that's 2 times, and then I've got to put the first one on and cut it again. So you'll see the process because I'm going to show it to you, so maybe that's a good thing. But I've realized after I cut the second one, oh shoot, I only needed to cut the second one and not the first one and the second one. I mean, you live and you learn. I just wasn't thinking about it. So we're going to go ahead and carefully put this down. Now, because this is pre-cut, that's why I said I wish I hadn't cut this, because this is going to be, I'm going to have to put this down very gingerly. And I think what I might do is only peel maybe the top part of it. Again, because it's cut, I want to make sure that I can put this down without it wobbling back and forth. And that's going to be kind of hard for it not to do because it is cut. So actually, maybe I should. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to hold down the full thing, because I'm going to end up trimming off maybe about 1/2 inch over here. So let's see. Let me get my mat so I can see the edge of this. And let me put that down first. Take my pen out. Make sure I only have 1 page. Double check. And let's see. Let's maybe do it like this. There we go. And then I'm going to turn it sideways so I can see it. Oops. I'm going to slide the mat up so I can, again, see this edge. I'm trying to line this window up to the top edge and come as close to the inside as I can without it touching the spine. But I want to come pretty close. And so this top part, I think, is the most important to put down straight. So I'm going to take more time and energy to line this up. Because again, if this isn't straight, the rest of it isn't going to be straight. Okay, let me take this off and see how I did. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, now I'm going to get my craft scraper and, oh boy, very gingerly try to put the rest of this down. And again, this is a little tricky. I don't want to tear it. Actually, I think I'm using my finger. The more I think about this, I don't want to rip it. And then I'm going to take this, and now that I have about half of it down, slowly kind of peel it. I'm peeling this back slowly while I go down like this. And it's important to go slow because if you don't, this will get misaligned. And because of this is so fragile, I don't want this to tear. So that's why I'm doing it like this. See that part? Let me get my tweezers. This part of the window curled on itself. See if I can uncurl it. If I don't do it now, I probably won't be able to. There we go. Ooh, not bad. Okay. Got a small gap here, but I think what I might do is take some of my archival ink and just blend that out because it's so small and I don't want to cut that little tiny little sliver. I am going to cut this part, but I think what I'm going to do is cut this part first, put the window on, and then trim this. I think that's going to be the safest way to do it. But for the most part, that came out pretty well. Okay, not bad at all. Okay, now let's see. Actually, might tape this down. This is some low-tack tape so that I can cut this without it. Well, if it'll let me. There we go. Just so that it stays down while I cut it. And I might even put this on down here. Just so as I make my cuts, it's not moving all over the place. Okay. So now you're going to see in real time how I did this. And actually, I can't have that there, can I? This needs to be actually up here. Like that. Okay. I'm trying to get it as flat as possible is what I'm trying to do. And I'm going to turn it this way just to make it easier for myself. And I'm using my 12-inch metal ruler because this one's only 6 inches. And I need a little bit longer than that. See, I need about 6.5 inches, and this isn't quite long enough, and I want to be able to do this in one clean stroke. So that's why I'm not using this one, even though it would have been more convenient. So, again, take your straight edge, and I'm just going to line it up. Take my craft knife, and I like to put mine down first in the corner where I'm cutting, and then slide my ruler over to it. And then, as I'm doing that, I'm lining up this bottom edge as well, okay? So I'm going to put this down. Slide it over, and then slowly use my thumb to slide in the bottom until it gets to where it needs to be. And it's about right there. And now we're going to cut. I know this is a little scary, but do your best to go down to that line. And then I'm basically following the inside of the line like I did before. Okay. So same thing over here. And I'm using this edge as my guide of how far to go down. And I'm pushing, for this inner corner is a little bit difficult, so I'm actually pushing it down to make it flat and then sliding my ruler over. Same thing here, putting my blade inside. Okay. And let's see the bottom. Let's get the bottom edge. Now, what you could also do is do both at the same time. So you could do, for example, put it here. Come to the middle, lift up your knife, come over here. Lift up your knife. You know what I mean? If doing it one at a time feels like it's too much for you, you can do it that way. Let's see. And it doesn't look like this one went all the way through, so I'm going to do this side again. sometimes scared of going too hard because I have a tendency to go too hard, but I do have this cutting mat, so I guess I shouldn't be afraid of doing that. Same thing over here. I didn't quite go through. I'm gonna see if I can just slide my knife down and score it since it's mostly cut. Now, if it doesn't feel like you cut it at all, don't just go back and do like I did on this side. See, like on that side, let's see. Let me get, just gonna put some glue on this just so it stays. And if I have to, I'll ink that part too. I think the corners are probably the hardest because I do my best not to go too far. So I'd rather have to come back and do this versus go too far and then you've cut into your window. But use your best judgment, whatever is most comfortable for you. Like, see there, I didn't go quite all the way down. And I know this is my cover page, so I'm gonna take that off. And let's see. Put this over here and get this small little sliver if I can. Okay. So add that little piece. Okay, now we're gonna do the other side. Same thing. And then we'll go back and do the inside of the windows. So this is tedious. So it's gonna take a while, but it is gonna have a really cool effect. So it's time consuming, but I think it is kind of cool. All right, you guys, so I'm back. So I just finished cutting that out. And I also, with that little gap I showed you at the bottom that I had, I used my outliner. Originally, I was going to use some of my Ranger archival ink and coffee. But since it was such a small sliver, I thought I might accidentally get some on the other pages. So I decided to just use my outliner and I just ran it across the bottom. But then I felt like it looked a little bit flat. So I took one of my old Krylon gold leafing pens, and this is the 18 karat gold leafing pen. And I used my older one so that it's not quite as pigmented. And then I just very gently, very light pressure, barely touched it just so it would give it a little bit of dimension and kind of mimic the rest of this. So that's what I did there. And then I took the outliner again and I ran it all across the inner edges of all of these little cuts. So I ran it all across every little line inside the entire thing, just to take away some of that raw white edge. That way, because from the front, when you looked at it, you could see a lot of the white edge there. Now, if that doesn't bother you, you don't have to do this step. But again, this is kind of one of those extra little details that I think kind of makes a difference. And again, it took some time, but it was easy to do. And again, I wasn't too worried about being messy because this is going to get covered in the back. So if you don't want to have to worry about that step, you could skip this. But again, I thought it just was a nice little extra touch. Okay, so we have the front all completely cut out. We have the side I also trimmed down. So I trimmed that off. And then I also fixed this little bottom edge since it was only like 1/8 of an inch exposed here at the bottom. I just used my outliner and then my gold leaf pen to kind of mimic the wood that was on the rest of the window. Okay. So that's everything that we did. And now I'm going to turn this over. And let's see. Ooh, maybe I should have left that little edge on there. Okay, when you do this, don't trim this last so you have something to kind of grip onto. This is going to make this a little bit more difficult, but we're going to do our best. So now I'm going to get some, wipe this down. I basically cut down an acrylic sheet to the sides of the window. And I'm going to tape this down so that it mimics the glass of a window. Now, again, you can skip this step if you don't want to do all of this. I just thought this would be kind of cool. Boy, why is this getting dirtier and dirtier? Are my hands dirty? Hold on. Might just have to clean this again when I'm done. I think I touched something and now It's all over here. Boy. Hope this comes off. Okay, I'm not gonna worry too much about this. I think I can get this off. Because, I mean, this was a brand new sheet. I think I must have set it down on something, and now it's all, like, smudged up. But we're gonna do our best to live with it. Okay. And when you do this, it's important to make sure you have, like, a 1/4 inch, at least a 1/4 inch gap on the top side and all the sides, the bottom, so that you have a place to kind of put, you know, stick it down. So I think what I'm going to do is I was going to add my double-sided tape to this, but actually I think I'm going to add it to the page because I think that's going to be safer. And let's see, I'm going to do strip all the way across. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to push that down, and then we're going to start peeling. All right, so I just removed all of the backer from the adhesive. And boy, trying to figure out the best way to do this. Just need, let me get my smaller one. Let's see. I just need something to kind of grip one side of this. That. Okay. Where's my, oh, there it is. It's clear. All right, so this is the acrylic sheet. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but I'm basically going to put this down to the best of my ability. And I'm going to push it flat. Once I got it on good, just push it completely down. Okay. So that's what it's looking like from the front. Isn't that cool? So it's like a real window because it looks like glass. Okay. So that's the effect I was going for. Okay. Actually, I'll wait till the end, I think, to clean this. All right. So now we're going to put the back of the window over here. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing we did earlier and just peel off the top little edge and put it down slowly as best as we can because this is the part that is probably the most important to align. Okay. So just peeling it back till I get to that top layer. And it goes all the way up to the top. And actually, I'm going to use this edge and the top edge to line up because I don't care as much about the inside of this. I think it's most important for this to be lined up with this outer edge. Again, this top is the most important, so I'm just taking my time to line it up. And trying to see if this middle part is aligned. Okay, that's off slightly, so I need to come over to the right just a little bit. Hopefully I can peel this up. Forgot about the middle section. Oh no, it's tearing, it's tearing. No. Oh my God. Okay. This is ripping. Oh, forgot about the middle section. I should have did that. Oh, it's sticking to this acrylic. Oh my God. Okay. You know what? Maybe we'll just cut it and figure out a way to align it after the fact. Because oh my God. This is like completely ripping. Okay, when you use the acrylic, it sticks. It's strong. Okay. This is not playing. See if I can fix this. I don't know where this came from. That's this part. Sorry, I know you can't see, but I'm trying to put, since they're ripped, I'm trying to piece this back together again because I did not expect it to stick to the acrylic like that. I mean, it like clung to it. Yikes. Trying to line this up as best I can. Well, this just got interesting. This is why I always tell people things really go according to plan. At least in my experience. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it did this. Oh, I'm fighting the urge to just pull this all off. I don't want to have to reprint this and recut it because that's just going to take too long. Ay, ay, ay. I did not expect it to stick to the acrylic like this. I've used acrylic a lot, but not in my planner, not in my journal. So I've never had it. Oh my God, what should I do? Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna cut this and piece it together. I think that's gonna be, I know it's scary, but I think that's gonna be the easiest solution so I can actually see what I'm doing. And I'm trying to manually piece this back together. Again, it is not gonna be perfect, clearly, but do the best we can. Let's see. Where's my craft knife? I really can't believe it. I didn't expect to have that level of suction. I mean, as soon as I put the top down, it was like... So I'm trying to peel this up so, again, I can line it up with the middle section. So I can at least cover that. Even if, again, if it's not perfect. Because I can always come up with a solution to kind of fix the rest of it if I can get at least this. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, glue stick. Okay, note to self, if you use acrylic, be very careful. I mean, with the paper, I didn't have that problem, but it just created a complete suction that I did not expect. Like I said, we'll fix little areas like that. I think I can, but right now I'm just trying to get the bulk of it to align. Get my bone folder. Kind of smush that down. Well, you know what they say about best laid plans. Unbelievable. I mean, it's just ripping in my hands. I think because the acrylic is so thick. Oh my goodness. Okay. At least I'm able to, okay, that one I was able to salvage for the most part. Again, we'll fix these little areas. Right now, gotta remember where this stuff goes. Let's see. Hold on. That's this one. Or is it this way? Trying to figure out how this goes based on the other side. I think it's this way. Nope. Must be like this. Yeah, okay, it's this way. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, that goes there. Now, where does this go? Okay, this is, make sure I have it oriented. Okay, this is like this. I don't know where this piece goes. I've got to save this until I figure out where this goes. Okay, this is like this, so this piece goes here. Okay. Whew. Okay, we're getting there. I don't know where this is. Maybe this is down here. No. Oh, I think this is this. Okay. Yeah. Okay, this is this piece. Just gotta figure out how to orient it the right way. I think this goes like this. Yeah, I'm just doing my best to get as close as I can. Again, it's not going to be perfect because of how this stuck. Maybe this comes over. That. Okay. All right. Coming together. Yikes. It's like I'm trying to decide if I should try to put this back down or just do this piecemeal. You know what I mean? Like, maybe do the middle first. Actually, I think I'm going to line it up with this bottom edge and the middle. Right there. Haha. Okay. Now slowly untwist this. And I'm just trying to line it up so that you can't see the underside. Okay, that's not bad. Let's see if I can line this up a little bit better. And I know you guys are probably freaking out, but there's a solution to every problem. And I'm going to make this work. Okay. All right, not bad. I mean, considering considering how this started, yikes. I mean, the first side went perfectly. Yeah, the sticker paper, I mean, it did not like the vellum. It just clung to it. Okay. Now let's line this up. Again, we'll figure out the little gaps and all that later. Right now, I'm just trying to get the bulk of this lined up, which so far I've been able to. There's a bubble here, so unfortunately I've got to lift this so I can line it up. Okay. That side's lined up. Now let's get this side. And I'm using the paper of the underside that I can see as my guide. Ooh, okay. It's not too bad. And there's a little bubble here. Let's see if I can work this out. There we go. All right, got that part. Let's get this side lined up. Let's turn it this way so I can see it. Whew. Okay, that's where we are. Now let's see if we can fix all of this. Okay, we're gonna get creative, but I think I'm gonna use some of the tricks that I used on the other side. No, at least the parts that have the paper on it, I think I can figure out. So maybe anything lighter. Let's see if we can, maybe I'll use an alcohol marker. That's not bright brown. So it's a little dry, but actually that might work to my advantage. This dried out alcohol marker. Oh, that's kind of perfect. And I'm bringing it down and then up again, so it looks like it's part of it. Oh, that's working. Okay, I'm not using this matte liner because it's a little bit darker. I mean, I can see part of that on the other side, but I think it's okay. I think we can deal with that. Again, I'm just trying to go over the parts that are sticker paper that I can actually fix. Okay, and the matte liner I'll use on this edge here because it's darker, and on this bottom edge here, like I did on the front side. And then I'm gonna take, again, my goat leaf pen and just very lightly go over the top to blend it out. All right, so we used a combination of an almost dry alcohol marker, which actually was a good thing because it allowed me to blend it a little bit better. This brown matte liner and my 18 karat gold leaf pen by Krylon. Okay, so that's what it's looking like. I mean, considering considering the drama that happened, not too bad. Okay, so now I'm gonna go through and just wipe down this acrylic sheet. I mean, is it perfect? Nope. But considering what I had to go through to get it to look like this, I think it actually looks pretty good. I mean, I think the middle section is the only area where I can really tell, and then maybe over here, the rest of it, I think I pieced this together pretty well. Oh, you know what I just thought? I have some wood washi tape. I wonder if that would help. Would that help or hurt? That's white. And this is too dark. This one might. What would happen if I put this down the middle? Ooh. I mean, I kind of could just trim off the excess. Let's see what that looks like. Huh. You know what? That might work. Hold on a second. I think I've had a good idea. Okay. The tricky part is seeing the part that I'm going over. Can't really see. I'm really guessing because I can't really see how far this is. Oh, actually, that was a pretty good guess. Okay, so it's about 1/8 of an inch over. Again, I'm still kind of guessing, but so it's not visible from the front. I mean, that's close. We're getting there. Okay. Maybe right about here. Let's see how we're doing. I mean, that's close. I have maybe like a 1/16 of an inch on this side. Again, I'm kind of guessing because I can't really tell. Okay, so I fixed that part, so I just need to get this side here. Let's see where it starts. Oh, right there. It's such a small sliver. I'm doing my best to apply light pressure so I don't cut this acrylic sheet. It is really hard to cut these little tiny little slivers. I'm doing my best. I may not be able to get all of it, but that's as close as I can come on that side. And then let's see down here. Yeah, I think as close as I can come without cutting it, because I'm getting dangerously close to cutting it. So I think I better stop. But I mean, I think that fixed the bulk of it. That was where most of the issues were, right there. And then the rest of it, I think I can live with. So slightly different on this side. Put a little bit of glue right here where I fixed that one piece, just so it stays. There we go. So wipe off some of the excess adhesive. And yeah, we're going to call that good, because if I do anything more, I think I'm going to mess it up. So we're going to leave it there. Okay. That's how you kind of turn a catastrophe into something that's still, that you can live with. You know what I mean? So we're going to say that's decent. All right. Now let's put down the scene over here. Okay. Let me take away. Oh, what is this? I was trying to take away some of the stickiness I felt over here, but you know what? We're covering it, so it doesn't matter. I tell you, I'm batting 1,000 a day, but wood washi tape was a help. All right. So the scene, Parisian, is going to go here. And again, I'll just trim off the excess so it stays within the window. And kind of my usual process. This should go smoother since it's just paper and sticker paper. So we shouldn't have the drama that we had over there with the acrylic sheet. Yikes. I don't know if I'll ever use acrylic in my journal again. That was definitely a learning curve. Boy. All right. Again, I'm going to get as close as I can without getting too close. Okay. And that part is coming up from where I, oops. The top of my glue stick just flew across the room. Need to glue that little part down. And I gotta go get my glue top. Never a dull moment here at Papyrus Plans. All right. So let's trim off the bottom here. It's kind of hard to see because it's just the back of the sticker paper, but doing my best to run my scissors along the edge and let my scissors do the work for me. Okay, cut up that little piece. And then I'm gonna take this clip off, put the window over so I can see how far to cut the scene so that it'll line up with the window and it's not going past the window. Okay, so there. Get my longer ruler. Do my best to cut these the same. That was pretty good. All right, so this is the effect that I was going for. I mean, it took a lot of work, but I really like it because, I mean, when you look at it, it literally looks like a window. I mean, that was a lot of work. I mean, the front part, not so much. The back, that was a bear. I mean, that was just ridiculous. I did not expect it to take that much effort on the back side, but I will say, I do love the effect. So that is beautiful. So this is, you know, the opening scene, and it's like you're opening the window and you can see people walking down Paris, right? Walking down the streets of Paris. So I think that was really cool. I think it was worth it. But I'm not going to lie, that was a lot. Okay. So be forewarned if you want to do this in your own journal. Okay. So we have that. Let's see. Fix this one little smudge here. And clean up this one edge from when I cut the second side. I think it nicks some of this part. There we go. Okay. All right. So that's the cover page, and I love it. I mean, I think it's beautiful. I mean, yeah, we definitely had some hiccups, but I think it turned out pretty well. So that's pretty cool. And then we have this watercolor Paris scene. Okay. So that's how the cover page is looking and what it looks like when it's open. Okay, so I think that looks great. All right, so now we're gonna work on our waterfall tabs and then the decoration. So these are the sticker strips that I created for that. All right, guys, so let's work on our waterfall tabs. And I did make notations about where I wanted to put certain things. Let's see. So actually, maybe I'll put the items there first so I can coordinate the waterfall tabs with the item. Maybe that makes more sense. Let's see. So I want the Eiffel Tower here because I want, when you turn the page, for that to be visible here. So the Eiffel Tower will go there. The cafe is going to be on this side. And then, let's see. Then it's going to be the Croissant, which is actually here too. So that's there. Maybe I'll put this as a marker for the Croissant. And then the coffee. I think that might be on this other one too. Okay, yeah. And let's see, the macaron. And then just the scene stickers and sites and things that I made for that. So these can go there. Okay. Now let's see what kind of coordinating sticker strips I want to put for each one. So for the cafe and the Eiffel Tower, let's see. I think what I might do is, since I weeded this, I can just cut in between these and put them where I want them so I can keep track of what's what. Or should I do the lighter one? Let's see. Okay, maybe I'll do one of the lighter ones and this plaid. I think that will work for this one. So, okay, so that works for that. So let's leave these here. Okay, next is the croissant. And maybe do the two brown ones here. I think that would go well with these. Okay, then for the coffee, maybe do, let's see, maybe the coffee stains in the latte one. So that goes with this one. And then for the macaron, let's see. I'm going to use these somewhere. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll take, let's see. I'm going to put these here in the front. Maybe I'll do these two in the front. Or the plaid, and for the cafe, do the food scene strip. So maybe this one and this one. Do these two together. I think that will look cute. The cafe. And then this will be where the Eiffel Tower is, so that it's something plain, but it won't compete with the Eiffel Tower. So maybe do these two. And then that. And then that. And then for the macaron, maybe do these two. Okay. And then for the one in the back, the scenes, maybe the coffee bean and this one. And then I made an extra one in case I want to swap something out. So maybe I'll save that one. Or maybe I'll use the coffee bean maybe in the script. That way it breaks up some of the heaviness of that. Or do I want the same? Let's see. No, maybe I think I'll keep that together. I kind of like the fact that these are two the same. Okay, so let's see what that would look like. This one next to this one. Next to that. This. And then this. Wait, did I do that right? This is the Café Eiffel Tower. Oh yeah, Croissant. This is this one. Okay. Trying to see how they will look like side by side. Actually, that kind of looks good because the darker anchor kind of anchors it, and then the darker on this side kind of anchors that. Okay, I think that works. I mean, I might think about switching the plaid out for maybe this, the script. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Okay, I'm glad I did this so I can kind of move things around and see what it looks like. Okay, so I think that works. So now let's get all the stickers back. Okay, so now let's see. I think I'm doing increments of 3 if I remember correctly. So yeah, this one I do nothing. This will be over here. This one goes in 3 spaces. And this is the macaron page. I use repositionable adhesive, so I'm just kind of rubbing off the excess adhesive there. And my ruler. So 3 spaces in. So I'm basically counting dots. 1, 2, 3. So on this line. Okay. All right, so now we have the tabs cut out. So we can put down the washi. Or sticker strips, I should say. This one. Coffee. All right, so that's what it's looking like. I like that. I think that looks really good. And as I flip each page, okay, so see, the only one that has a slight gap is this one. Do I want to put something else down? I mean, I could do on this layer a double. Let's see. I have these 3 left. What does that look like? Just a little, or you know what? What if I, ooh, can I cut this in half? Well, actually I can follow the line. If I cut this, it might not be perfectly down the middle, but I'm following this line here. So one side is dark, one side is light, but they're both the same pattern. That way each side, I can add the same pattern to each side, is why I'm thinking of doing this. Maybe put the light side over there since that's visible. Okay, let's try that. And if I don't like it, I can always peel it up. Just so it looks like it's a border. And intentional. That way I'm not adding another full 1/2 inch strip. I don't think I really want to do that because that's going to take away my writing space. But this just adds a border underneath. And looks like it's part of it. I think this might work. Okay, see what that looks like. Yeah, just, you can only see a sliver of it, but it's enough to kind of cover that. So let's do the other side. And this is the darker half of it. Yeah, I like it. It doesn't take away from it, and it fills in that gap since that one had just a little bit of a gap there. So I feel like that fills it in a little bit better. And it's all still coordinating colors. So that looks really good. I like that. And then the only thing you can see from the front are the coffee beans, which I like. So it's kind of like a little peek into what's to come. It's like you see a little sneak peek of the Eiffel Tower. You open it up, you see that, hey, we're going to Paris. Again, we're going to a Parisian cafe. And then when you open it up, you see all of the coffee. So I think that looks really cool. That came out really nice. I like that. So I'm glad I made a few extra ones just so I could play around with that. That's always a good idea. Okay, so now let's round the corners. I mean, you don't have to do this, but since the pages are rounded, I like to do it. And I just think it looks nicer. It makes it look like this journal came pre-decorated that way almost. And actually, I may not round this corner because it goes with the window. So even though all the pages are rounded, I think I'm going to leave this one alone because it's the scene that goes with the window. You know what I mean? So I think that I'm going to leave that alone. Even though the pages are all rounded, I think that makes sense to leave that. So I think I'm going to round everything except for this one. I mean, I guess I could. It probably wouldn't be visible if it's rounded. Let's see, is that going to bother me? Actually, it doesn't bother me, but yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, yeah, I don't think I want to do anything. Okay, so now let's clip this down in the middle here. Okay, so I have all my notes of where I want things to go, but first I need to date everything. Usually I date after, but I mean, usually I date first, but I kind of want to date after because I want to fit this in. Now I'm wishing I made this smaller. I don't know if this is going to fit. This is pretty big. Let's see. I might need to add another sheet. Shoot. To get enough days in. Let's see. Well, if I do this, I can only probably get 2 days here and 2 days here. And okay, I think it'll work. Okay. So I think I will put this down so I know to date around this. And I'm only going to get 2 days on here and 2 days over here. And then I'll just have to make sure I get 4 days probably in the back where I have almost the full, like over here. I'll get 4 days. I have to get 4 days here anyway, but I was going to do 3 days. I'll do 4 days on both sheets. And I think that'll make up for it. And I might even do 4 here if I have to. So let's see. Or maybe I'll put it down here. Actually, I think I'll do that. And actually, I could mainly keep it to this side. I think I might do that. Mainly keep it over here. And then I have this full page. You know what I mean? Let's see. Where's my craft scraper? That way it only goes over slightly. Actually, I think that might work. And I can still... Yeah, that's still enough for 2 days. Because I'm not writing a whole novel every day, so... Oh. I was thinking that was the next page. Okay, I got to trim that off. Okay, hold on. Hold on. That went over. There we go. Just peel up the part that went over onto the sticker strip, because obviously I don't want it to go over that part. Okay, so we got the cafe down. Maybe I should do the Eiffel Tower too, because that's big. And then I think once I have these 2 big pieces down, then I can start dating. Let's see. What side do I want? I think I'll do this one. I think I'll bring it down like this, so that it's mostly on the page, but only going over slightly. Like that. And then this goes on the back. And I mirrored the images again so it would match up. So I just need to line up this bottom part. Okay, and then cut off all this excess. And bend it so I can see the edge of the paper. It's right there. You know, cut part of the paper, but we're gonna live with it. So I might as well just cut the rest of it. Since I did. Okay. And I think I might cut this part off since it's just a small little piece. Yeah, because otherwise it's going to be too flimsy, and that way I still keep the bulk of the trees. Okay, so I have those 2 big pieces down. Now I think I'm going to start dating it. So let's choose what we want to use for that. I have my Paper Studio Agenda 52 numbers and days. I have gold. I haven't used any of the gold. Actually, I wonder if I have enough of this black script left. I kind of feel like I should use script. It's like France and poetry. You know what I mean? It's like, this goes together. I have a full page, so I think that should be enough. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. Okay, yeah, that's plenty. Okay, so I'll use that. And I wonder if I have any brown numbers. I think I do. Or I can use black. Maybe I'll use black. Maybe black and gold. So just gold, square. I think I'll use round because it mimics like the top of a cup. So maybe these round numbers, I think that would look nice. That stands out. Yeah, I think that's what I do. I think I'm going to use the black script and then these round numbers to date this. So let me mark where this is. The numbers, then script. Okay, so I'll do that and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. All right, you guys, so I just finished dating everything and everything was going well until I got to August 31st. And as you can see, I used all the dates here and it only went to the 30th for some reason. And all the other dates go through 31st. So I don't know if that was just an error. So then I thought, wait, I have 2 sheets of stickers. So let me go back up. And I was like, oh, shoot, I already used them. But as you can see, this one went just to the 30th as well. So then I thought, okay, I've put down all 30 days except for the last one. What am I going to do? And so I was trying to figure out, okay, is there any sticker in here that looks similar to that? Like these are all small. So I thought, well, that's going to look a little odd. But I thought, well, if I have to, I figured I could use, you know, one of these, just maybe the black one or one of the gold ones. But then I was like, it's not going to look the same, you know? And so I was like, I guess I could use a gold one here, you know, but that's not going to look the same. So then I thought, well, is there anything else in here? And then I saw these and I was like, well, I don't want to take away from this in case I use this for a month. Obviously that has 31 days. So then I went to the previous page. I had used up all of these and I had the 31st left. So basically I took the square one from here and just cut around it to make it round. So it's slightly smaller than the other days and I'll show you what I mean. But this is what it's looking like. Then when we get to the last one, so that one's obviously smaller because I had to trim down the square into a circle, which made it smaller. And the square was about the same size as these. So, but at least it has the same effect, more or less. I mean, obviously the number is smaller. I mean, it's kind of annoying, but that's probably the best that I could do. Because again, it was either use the really small black ones or really small gold ones. And again, that was going to be smaller anyway. So I figured at least this was closer to the size. But I'll say that's probably the only thing about this that I think is annoying is most of the dates, like most of the number stickers go up to 31, but there are a few of them in certain colors that only go up to 30, which is kind of annoying. I feel like they should just give you 31 days in all the colors. I don't know why they do that, because in a case like this, I forgot that some of them only came in 30 days. I just assumed it was 31. And then it wasn't until I got to the end where I was like, where's 31? Where's 31? And I couldn't find it. And then I realized it's not here. So that was kind of annoying. Okay. But other than that, I think everything came out pretty well. Obviously the 31st is different, but can be avoided. I mean, I thought about taking a marker and going around it, but again, I think it will be noticeable and my alcohol marker is going to bleed through. I have a gray outliner, but again, I don't know if I should risk that. I mean, I could maybe take one of my, let's see, what if I use like a pigment micron? I don't know if I should, but if I went around the edge just to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, it's not bad. All right, that's closer to the size. That makes it slightly less noticeable. I think I'm gonna leave it there so that we don't do too much and mess it up. But again, that's where we are. And that's everything dated. Okay, so we have the first set of pages done. So I have this the cafe on the left-hand side. I got 2 days here. I still was able to get 3 days on this side and still have enough room, thankfully, because the Eiffel Tower really didn't take up too much room. So I still was able to get my 3 days there. So the only adjustment I did is what I suggested to you before I turned the camera off, and that was that I was going to get 4 days on both of these pages as opposed to just 4 on the last page like I originally thought. And again, I have mostly the same amount of space, so it still worked out. So I have plenty of room to write each day. So that worked out pretty well. Okay, so we have the cafe here, Eiffel Tower here. So let's go ahead and flip that over. So let me pull out the images that I created and the mirrored images. Okay, so I have 3 different ones. So I think I'll put, let's see, this one at the top. If I can get it. There we go. And this one, let's see, just making sure that I mirrored it. Sometimes I forget. Okay. Trying to see how I want it angled. I'm gonna cut off some of the offset. Okay. So have this one come up like this, maybe. Or, let's see, maybe like this. Okay, I kind of want to see the word espresso, so I think I'll nestle it right there. And then trim off the offset on this one too, so it matches it. And this goes like this. So we got that one up there. And maybe put the one on the tray with coffee. And I may not use the other one. I just created some different ones just so I could have some, again, some options. Maybe have part of the coffee showing on this one with the croissant and coffee beans. Oops. I'm gonna trim the bottom offset off of the tray. Again, just so I can layer it. Maybe like right there. And then this will come this way. And hopefully I won't have to move Wednesday, but we'll see. Oh, and I don't have to move Wednesday, thankfully. So that worked out. Okay. So I mean, I have one more croissant. Let's see. Wait. Okay, this one is, these two are mirrored. I might just have this one like this. And again, cut off some of this offset so it's not covering up all of my sticker strip. I still want to be able to read the words espresso in between. Actually, maybe I shouldn't. Or you know what I might do is just put some, maybe I'll put them kind of going down the middle. That might be kind of cute. Let's do that. So I still want to be able to read some of this because it took me so much work to do that. I don't want to cover it all up. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that. All right, so I end up only using 2 of the mirrored images there. I think that works out. Again, I want to still be able to see some of the words that say espresso. So I think that looks good. All right, so now let's see, what is this one? This is the coffee one. Let me pull all of my coffee sticker sheets that have mirrored images on them. So I have this one. So I have these 2. I think these are the 2 main ones. No, I have 3. I have one that's the top of the coffee, one that's the full cup, and then one with foam with macaron. That's really cute. So again, I may not use all of these, but I made them just so I could have it. So again, let's see. Maybe have a cup coming in between here and make like a little cluster there. That way I can still see the espresso and see this. And then I cut, maybe, you know, I might just keep this here so I can have, you know, that there. So I want to be able to see this. You know what I mean? I think it looks really cool. So I don't want to cover all of that up. So I may only use one of these. Let's see. Which one? Or should I do the open one? I think I might use the open one inside of here. And I really like this coffee cup. So I think I might do this here. And maybe have this one pointing out like that. So let's try that. And make sure I don't go past this final line here. Okay. And then trim this one as best I can. Again, it won't be identical since my brother in Scan and cut it identical, but now I'm doing it by hand, so it's going to be impossible to get it perfectly identical, but as close as I can. Okay. All right. Again, let's do our best to line it up. We'll start with the handle. I think that's going to be the easiest. And then just trim it to line up. All right, so that's what it's looking like. That looks really cool. I like that. And again, I can see little peaks of this underneath, which I like. So let's see. Again, maybe put one of these in the middle. Put it mostly on Saturday. And then maybe the other one over there. Actually, I might do the similar kind of thing where have coffee going down, but instead of completely down the spine, I'll put some on either side. I think I'll do that. Okay, now I have these two are mirrored images, and it kind of goes with the macaron. So I think I might want to put maybe one at the top here. Maybe just peeking through. Ah, just ripped it. But we're gonna, as usual, piece things back together. Because that's what we do. We don't waste stickers over here at Papyrus Plans. Especially when you've applied these really cool effects to them. Okay. So, try to put this back together. It's hard when it's so sticky. I'm trying to hold it enough to keep it together without it sticking. Okay. So again, maybe the top and bottom. That was my original idea. Just to make sure I don't go over. Or maybe I should do this other one. Yeah, I kind of want to see the handles on both of them. So I think I'll do kind of like I did that one. Like that. And carefully cut this one down so I don't rip it. Okay. So I'm mainly just cutting off the left side because that's the side that I have to worry about. And then doing my best to line this up. And looks like I am going to have to move over Monday. Let me move this sticker book out of the way. Get my tweezers. That lifted up pretty nice. That was nice. And I'm sliding it over. My bone folder and just push it back down. There we go. Okay. So we have top and bottom. We have the croissant and the kind of sort of the middle and the top. And then maybe add one more cup of coffee over here somewhere. Look at the options that we have. Okay, so we have kind of this breakfast with the custard and the croissant and the coffee. I think I'm gonna save that for the macarons. And okay, that's that one. And then here's the other coffee. We already used that one. We got these 2 cups. Put that maybe cascading down and maybe even tuck one over there. Let's see. Might use this scene too. So maybe I'll put this up here because it's different from the other ones. And it has the croissant and the coffee. Just pushing it toward the spine and then pushing it over. I mangled my steam a little bit, so let's put that back. There we go. And this will be hidden behind this sticker. See, maybe I'll do that, but then cut this part off with the handle since I have handle there and handle there. Yeah, just kind of gives it a different look and breaks it up a little bit. So maybe I'll do the same thing over here. Where's that other one? Have this. Actually, I might have that one go mostly over and just trim this off. Okay, I like that because that kind of fills that out, and I don't have to worry about it going over on that side, but it gives it interest. So I like how I have all of the coffee here. And I have this one, but I don't think I'm gonna use it. And I have the lamppost here, so I might use that in the back somewhere. So I'll set that one aside. Okay. And let's see, might add one of these over here. Maybe this tea and coffee. I mean, maybe the tea. Down here at the bottom. Yeah, I like that. Just kind of gives it some interest there. And kind of feel like I need something over here. Maybe this coffee and the croissant. Or, you know, I have these. Actually, I made mirrored images of the French press. So I'll save that in case I want to use that on another one. But I can use this, the coffee grinder. Maybe put that up here. See what that looks like right there. And then maybe something cascading down there. So maybe I'll have the French press cascading down like this instead of using it. Unless I have something else to see. Maybe I'll wait, because since it is a mirrored image, I might want to use it. So yeah, I think I'll wait. Okay. I don't want to use it and then wish I didn't. Okay, so we might come back over there. I think this page is probably done. Yeah, I don't think I need much of anything over there. Okay, same with this one. Kind of wish I had something small right there, but I don't think I have anything small. Well, I have this. Maybe just a small plate with the croissant. Just cut off the bottom. That way it kind of rounds it all out. Yeah, I like that. Okay. It just felt like something was missing. So that looks good. So I think this one is definitely done. Okay. I like that. Now this one is the macaron goes on this one. Okay, so let's get those. Okay, we have that. Where's the big ones at? Okay, there's those. That's the ones I'm looking for. And I want to try to use both of them if I can, the gold and these ones. So let's see. Maybe something here. That way I can still see both of them, and then maybe the other one at the bottom. It's hard because I don't want to cover any of this up, but I got to cover up maybe one of them. Might even do it like this. Let's see. Let's get the other one. I think I might want this other side so it has some color. That's really close to that, so maybe I will use the green one. Okay, so I'm going to cut off the offset only on the green one, because that's the only one that's going to be going across the sticker strip that I made. So this is the one I want over here. And the bulk of it will be over there, so I can still see it. Okay, now let's put this on the back side. And looks like I'm going to have to move Wednesday. Okay, so I'm going to put this down first, and then I can know where to put Wednesday. So let's line this up. Oh, I just ripped it. And I've got to move Tuesday too. Okay, so let's see. Tuesday's about right here. That's 26. And then let's put Wednesday back. And that's the 27th. And that's, I don't have to worry about. Okay. So we have one little macaron peeking out. We have the pistachio one. Now let's put the chocolate one with the gold down. Let's see where we want that. Maybe this one. Be peeking through right here. I think I'll angle it the opposite direction. of this one. So that one's going like this. This one's going to come this way. Okay. And I'm definitely have to move Monday. And put this other side down. Right there. And put the 25th back down. Okay, so we've got the Eiffel Tower, the croissant, we've got the coffee, the macaron. Okay, so let's maybe decorate this. I've got tons of sweet treats and goodies I can put over here. I think I'll put this one down at the bottom. And these little miniature sandwiches. I might have those peeking out on the side over here. I'll cut it flush. And then have it between Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, so I used up that sheet. Let's see. Oh, I forgot about this. I'm gonna fit that somewhere. The pastry shop. Gotta put it in the patisserie somewhere. Ooh, it might be too big though. What if I put it in the middle? Let's see. So I think I need to put it right there and then move Friday. So I want it mostly on the right side since I have that there. So maybe right about there. Ooh, that looks cool. I like that. Okay. So Friday is about here. Ooh, love that. Okay, glad I made space for that. Okay, now do I have anything else small? Maybe up here or down here or even in a corner. Let's see. Got this tray. I think I might do the same thing I did over there and just cut the right side. And then tuck it in over here. Just cut off this tiny little bit that goes over. Okay, that looks good. Let's see what we have left. Ooh, I have these. The stack of macaron. Definitely got to use that somewhere. Ooh. Might put it down on Wednesday. I don't have room there because it's going to go there. Can't do it there because of this. And I don't like the idea of it sitting on top of that. So I think I'm just going to bring it down here. Just trim off the bottom. So I can lay it flush. And I can just write around it on Wednesday. Or what I might do is, let's see, can I do that? Cut these apart. And I can bring, then I can bring this one down here, like that. And then this one over here. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. Okay. Let's see. Got one more tray. I might can fit that over there. I cut off the bottom offset and then snip the right. And then I'll only have a tiny little bit to cut off at the top. That fills in that little gap there. Okay, so I like that. That's really full. Okay, so now let's go to, let me trim this off as I see it. Around that edge there. There we go. Okay, so that one's, I think, done. Now this is the last page. Okay, we got the macarons from the previous page. Now we can use some of the other scenes that I have. I still have this French press. Have this. Have these scenes. And I want to use at least one of the street lamps somewhere. You know, I might use this large street lamp here because I think that would look really cool. Let's see. I don't think it's going to be visible, but might do it anyway. Putting it down lightly. Move it over a little bit, because I really don't want to lose any of it. Actually, you can't see it at all. And let's see. I use my gyro cut to cut around the white of this side as best I can. That way it's only covering the amount that's really necessary. Okay, it's not visible, but I'm still able to use it, which I like. Okay, so now let's see if we want anything to be visible or just create some scenes here. We have, I want to put the pigeon with the croissant somewhere. Let's see, do I want to put him here? Kind of wish I had him here now. See where I move that up. Might try to see if I can lift this. Because then I think I can move it up and then maybe cut off the right-hand side. Like I did with some of those other stickers. Yeah. Okay. So let's trim this down. Okay, put him down here. Okay. Then what would this look like over here? Would that be too much? Then it's floating over his head. Might not use this. I think I like this better than the T. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna use the tea. I mean, made it just in case, but let's just stick with coffee. I mean, I know you can get tea at a cafe, but I'm a coffee drinker, so we're gonna stick with coffee. I like tea too, but you know. Okay, let's see. Got sticker paper stuck to me everywhere. Okay, we got the street lamp. Let's see. Maybe this little scene here. Got this breakfast scene. Kind of wish I could put it here, actually, but that's in the way. Okay, maybe not. That might be too big. Okay, what about these other ones? Well, this one. Do this at the top. See what that looks like. Okay, that's not bad. I kind of want to cut around this, though. I might do that. Maybe cut down here and around just so it's not so square. Come on. Just makes it look a little bit more organic. Well, this little piece doesn't want to come up. But we're going to get him. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I like that way. That looks a little bit better. Just follow the curve of the book and the chair. It looks a little bit less stark. Okay, so that looks good. Maybe put in the lipstick. Because we're saying we're kissing Paris goodbye. And where's the other one at? Here it is. So maybe kiss Paris hello. And then goodbye over here. Okay, I like that. And I think I'm going to do the French presses. Or at least one of them. Okay, that looks kind of cool. I might put the other one down here, but I'm going to wait. Hold off on that. And then I have this cute little bicycle or this moped that I think I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use a moped. My best not to rip this, especially around the handles. Put that right there. And, oh, I think I broke one of the handles. Again, we can piece it back together. Or one of the mirrors. What was this? There. Cut off this tiny little sliver that went over. Okay, that looks really cute. Let's see. We also have this little cafe scene. Let's see. Kind of wish I had this here now, but I'm not going to move it. Okay, I think this might, the front page might be done because I don't think I can fit too much else there. I mean, I might revisit it, but I think that's it. Same with this one. I like the cascading croissants. And this one I love with the coffee and the croissant. Since that's on this side, I kind of blended the two together. And then the macaron and the coffee. Love that. So I think this is the only one that feels like it needs a little something. I guess I just don't like the scale of this because this is colossal. So maybe I'll leave that alone. And I think I might get the other French press, see what that looks like. Do I want to do it? And then I also have these. The other coffee I made with the croissant. But I have that there. Okay, maybe not. And maybe not. Okay, what about the little shopper bag with the baguette and the flowers? It's kind of cute. It's cute, but I don't think I have anywhere to put it. Oh, that might work. But it's the only item on the page that isn't coffee or a sweet treat. Do I have another sweet treat? Oh, wait, I have this one. Oh, this little tray. Kind of round this out a little bit. Okay. Again, it kind of just frames that area, like this page and this one. So I like that. I think that might be done. See, this one, I feel like it needs something. What about this other coffee? Got this. Or I can use this tray. I think I might do this down here and just trim it down. It's big, so it fits. I feel like this doesn't fit because it's too small. So what if we did, let's see, what else do I have? I have this baguette. I forgot about this. Gotta use this. I might use this little doggy. Even though the scale is wrong, but we can use him anyway. He's so cute. Put him down there. Oh, you know what I can do? Okay, I think these are all too big. So I don't think I'm gonna use any more of this. This keeps popping up, trying to get it to stay. I forgot to have these coffee stains I made. So maybe I'll fill this up with some coffee stains. I think that might work. Yeah, that's what it was missing. Love it. Loving it. There. Ooh, yeah, that was good. Okay, maybe one little small one down here. Just cut off the left side so I can put it up against this one. See what that looks like. Trim off the offset so it doesn't go into the macaron. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, I think that might be done. Maybe one stain over here somewhere. But then it's going to go down there, so maybe not. So maybe a stain over here, because this is where the coffee page is. I might do this one over here, maybe cut it, but I don't really want to. So I can do like this. And you can use this other side somewhere so I don't waste it. Up there. I'll add this one to this piece over here. Okay. And we just have these tiny little pieces, so we might as well use them. Add a little stain over there. And this last one. We add this here. Just trim off some of the white. So it fits in that area there. Okay, I'm going to clean up and then we'll take a look and see where we are. All right, you guys, welcome to Paris. Let's take a look at my final creative journal spreads for the month of August. This is the window that we created that you know all too well. Let's open it up and we can see the back of the window and then the streets of Paris. And then we get a glimpse into the cafe. So we're going to say hello to the Eiffel Tower and tons of croissants and lots of coffee. Just the way we like. And a trip to the pâtisserie to get some macarons. And then we have a little bit of everything, some macarons, coffee, a little motor scooter, French press, some coffee stains, and just a leisure day on the weekend, drinking some coffee, admiring the scenery. So this is it in reverse. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this journey to Paris with me for the month of August. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you later. All right, you guys, I just realized that I didn't add the month to this, and I always add the month somewhere. So I went back in my Agenda 52 Numbers and Days book, and I think I'm going to use the black because I use that for the numbers. And thankfully, I still have an August for this one. I used up most of the ones in the second page, so we'll get that. And put this somewhere. Maybe here. We're going to turn it into like a little flag and cut it off. This would be kind of cute, but then I would have to find something to put on the back, so I can't really do that. Oh, what if I did it here? I mean, if I hate it, I can always piece it back together. Because it kind of fits perfectly like this. Or do I want to do it over here? It kind of looks cute on the shop. I may do it there or here, but I want to make sure I don't get too close to the lantern. That way it just takes on the shape of the building. Okay, so that's what it's looking like with the tag on. So let's do another flip through. And that's the last page. Okay, I'm glad I caught that. I think I originally made this, but the more I looked at it, I was like, it's kind of big. I mean, I could have put it here to kind of announce August and then move this over, but I kind of like the more understated version of this. So I decided to go with this, even though I did make this initially for it. And this is a vinyl sticker that I just added a black label to with my label maker. But again, I decided it just was kind of huge and kind of out of place. And I think this is a little bit more elegant and more understated. So that's the solution that I decided to go with. Again, thanks for coming on this journey with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, stay inspired, and thank you for watching.